I thought it was interesting. He had somebody with a disability in the story. So,
Yes.
and then it started to go on, but I think it just it ended before it could have expanded.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Which was
I
right to the
realized that.
point. He was like, "Hey, I did 7 minutes. What's up?" But what I like too, Weber, is you use the ocean liner.
Yeah.
That was your boat. I was like, ocean liner, okay, and disability, two very, very, very distinctive images there. So, and the scuba diving, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's a whole nother world under the sea. Under the sea, right? So
You're
very,
right.
although it was short, it was to the point, but it had all this stuff. You see how you had all this stuff in there?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, cool, cool. All right. Okay. Who was after that? Was it Eric? It was John. I think it was John and then Eric, right? It don't matter. Eric, let's talk about Eric's story. Had me in it. No, name of the guy named Dwayne.
I thought it was very festive, very, it just made me feel good.
Feel good, yes,
Yes,
because it ended well.
yes, yes.
he he was out there for 7 days. Oh my gosh, on a piece of rickety boat, old piece of wood, right? Chiseled. Blessed though.
I felt relief.
Thank you. Me too. I said, I'm out here on the ocean. Oh my lord. But Eric, you know, I like how you had the survival in there, and it was this whole thing about surviving. You know, you talked about flat, you talked about boat, you talked about um, safe, you talked about land being near the old wood. That was different than just saying the word was on the boat. You said the chiseled old wood, which was very, very good. That's very descriptive. Okay. Awesome. Thank you very much. And thank you for saving my life in this story.
It's my pleasure.
All right. Okay. And John, you guys feedback for John?
John, I wasn't sure you were referring to an actual boat or the memory of that boat, but it was very imaginative, in addition to being very heart endearing.
Thank you. It
Right.
was actually at the end. It's a I don't know if you've ever seen them, but it's a boat bed. Like some kids can have a car frame bed. It was a boat frame for a bed.
Oh, uh,
So it was just, that was the boat. So I don't know if
Yeah.
I came across at the end, but that's what it was. They're getting rid of the boat because another bigger bed was getting in.
okay.
Yeah. Because you
Okay.
said bigger bed
Yeah,
was
bigger
coming.
bed because it was the boat
Yeah.
frame of the other bed. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I thought it was a regular boat at two until you said bigger bed, and then I thought of like motorcycle bed. I mean, race car bed, and
Yeah.
I thought those
Boat bed.
ones,
Yeah.
and then I thought, man, yeah, he's getting taller, he's getting bigger, he's can't fit in it anymore. You're like, dang,
Yeah, I
it's like
was
when
right
you're a
at the
little.
end trying to cram that in.
He did a good job cramming it in. That was great. Who else? Anybody else felt that tug on their heart a little bit?
Um, I kind of like that it was a different tone than I expected about how it seemed like it kind of had a poetic tone to it, I guess.
Poetic, yes. He started out, I say, oh, poetry, because of the way he started it. Yes. So John, again, the imagery was really good because you even talked about the muscles in the face, which is, you know, at the time when you were saying that, it was also where you would feel like crying, like, man, I'm looking over here and I'm looking and I know that those days could be reimagined, but they're going by, right? I personally, when my son comes home next time, we're gonna have a pirate fight in the room on my big old bed. I'm gonna like, how are you, matey? I'm gonna surprise his butt. Because that was pretty cool, man. So real cool. And I like how you ended the story with that. that, those days are going, away, and it'd be replaced. So, by a bigger bed. So, really good. Okay. And Nikkei, Nikkei, let's talk about her story because I got a lot to say about that.
You could tell. I mean, I could tell she already had like I was just reflective. I had a hard idea, like trying to put together a memory of the boat. That's what came up, so I did mine. And but she already has like an entire world, I guess, in her imagination, kind of like
Hmm.
Harry Potter did. You know that lady.
Yeah.
So if that came across to me is that it was an extremely well thought out background, environment, everything. Yeah.
Yeah. Real cool. Anyone else before I give mine? I was invited to speak in Marin County once. Marin County is right off the other side of the Golden Gate Bridge. And when I got there, there was 25 people that I was supposed to talk to. And these was all people with like PhDs, double PhDs, and some things like this. And they were counselors. And we were, I was there to talk about being empathetic about people on the other side of the desk, right? It was based on a actual poem called "The Other Side of the Desk." When I got there, every single name was a Greek goddess or god, and you just reminded me of it so much when you talked about Zeus, and I always mess her name up, Persephone's, right? And this
Persephone.
idea, yes, say it again,
Persephone.
Persephone, right? Yeah,
Persephone.
P-E-R. Okay,
Yes,
Persephone,
like
right?
Percy.
Yeah, Percy. Okay.
Percy.
What I loved is you
Stephanie without the C.
actually you weave together the summer, winter, fall, spring. You put all of the whole like seasons together, but you still stuck with this idea of the relationship she had with summer and the relationship she had with spring. I thought that was so ingenious. And then the fact that you talked about the rules that she made, that she's actually stuck in her own rules because she can't break her own rules. But the idea of her visiting her husband in the what was the winter and the
Her husband. She
her
lives in
she
the
lives
underworld in the
in
winter.
the
So
underworld in
she's
winter
visiting her husband in the
visit in the
summer.
fall. Yeah, that was pretty cool. And so I would love to see the expansion of that story. As a matter of fact, the reason why we do this story is because I show you three things. Number one, how you could take anything like whatever, right? We took a boat, we took a emotion of happiness, and we took a time frame, summer. And look how much you was able to do. And look how much feedback you were able to get, right? And that was 7 minutes of writing. This is the beginning of what I call the 777 method. I want you to practice this between now and Thursday. And what you're doing is you're going to take 7 minutes in the morning, 7 minutes in the afternoon, or 7 minutes in the evening, 7 minutes before you go to bed, however you break that out with 7 minutes. Set your alarm because you could set your timer. That way hey, I'm getting ready to do this thing, right? And then you just write. Don't qualify it. Don't edit it. All right. I want you to go back to this same story and add some stuff to it. It's called a rewrite. And so you're going to do a rewrite for 7 more minutes and then another one for 7 minutes because you're going to have two more sevens between tomorrow and Thursday before you come to class. All right. And I want you to do 7, 7, 7. And so this is going to get us to the first part of what I'm going to share in on Thursday. All right, so I want to share that with you. But let me go back to finish out this part so that you guys get all of the information. So what I said was words are picture containers, and I'll be sending you your assignment in the email as well. And what I'll do, Lee, is I'm going to put like a little map of where we're going. So that way you could get that and you won't feel like, oh, what are we going to do next? Right? They create change. You can build a whole new environment, a whole new world. You can change lives. It could break people down. It could build people up. It could get people to come together where you rally them around a thought. I want you to think about these speeches that we hear during the, hello?
Oh yeah, sorry, I'll turn off my microphone. My dog's
Oh,
getting
no problem. I
attention.
didn't know if
You can
if you guys,
look at him if you want.
okay, you
Yep.
can hear me.
Yeah.
Okay. And then rally thoughts together. You can tear people apart or you can build them up and build hope, right? So these are all the things that words do. They can educate or miseducate. They can guide or lead astray. They could empower or disempower, right? They can make people feel, and that's what you really want. You want them to take, you want to take them on a journey that includes their emotion. And so, with the advent of Kindle and Amazon, anyone who has the capacity to take the time to write can get their unique story out there and then have masses of people participate with it. In class, you were able to do that and you use words as a picture container and you created a story based on just a couple of things. What I want you to do for your assignment is to expand that story. So why self-publishing? Some people think self-publishing is like terrible. Okay, fine. But if you look in the bookstore today, way more books now are self-published because people realize that number one, something that Jeff Bezos recognized when he bought the first, he bought a company that was already had there, and then he took that company and he created Create Space, and then Create Space became Kindle Direct Publishing. But when he came into the marketplace, he saw a gap. He saw a problem. He said, I want to create this Kindle, this thing where you could read a book and you could read thousands of books and you don't have to waste paper. One of the things about it was saving the paper. And so they created a Kindle, but then they needed content for the Kindle. And when he looked out there, he was like, electronic books. Why should we waste time on paper when we can do electronic books? And this whole idea came to bear. But what he didn't realize is that people love books. There are some people that love to turn the page. They love to highlight the page. They love the feel of a book. They love the smell of the paper and all these kind of different things, colors and weights and this and that. But he knew one thing, publishing costs a lot of money and authors was only getting a penny to the dollar. So he figured out a way where you can actually keep 70% of that money instead of giving that 80, 90% away and only getting maybe 7 or 10%, right? He knew that he wanted to put a place where authors can publish for free. So he created a bookstore inside Amazon. And now you have all these books inside Amazon, and even books like Harry Potter and etc. are there now, right? They weren't there at first. It was just all these little independent books. But then the marketplace started dictating where it was going. And he's like, wait a minute, because number one, you keep your copyright. Number two, we'll give you an ISBN number. Number three, we'll let you publish when you want to publish. Number two, you could publish overnight, right? And then he said, hey, and we're going to give you global distribution through the click of a mouse that you can order the book and it's going to be wherever it needs to be within 3 to 5 days. Outstanding, phenomenal. Because what he did was he said, okay, the big thing was called print on demand, POD. So they put these big giant printers all in every of the locations of all their Amazon stores. So when you order a book from Amazon, it doesn't really exist. There's not a whole bunch of books sitting somewhere and somebody goes over and puts the book in the box. That's not how it works. The book goes to a computer, the computer prints the book out, the book goes through a printing press, they print the book, create the book, bind the book, all that, and then they send it out, and then it gets put in a box and sent to you. That's how phenomenal that is. So he figured this out and put this into play, and it revolutionized the book industry. People thought it wasn't going to stay. Now is the #1 way that people consume books. They buy them from KDP. All right. They buy them from Amazon. All right. And there was a lot of myths, and you can see that terrible writers, which it did when it first came out. It was the Wild Wild West. Everybody was writing books and they didn't know how to spell. They didn't spell check. They didn't get no proofreaders. They didn't get no editors. They just writing stuff, right? The storylines didn't have no rhyme or reason. It was all over the place. Poor quality definitely was there. It was really substandard. So a lot of educators and places like that would not allow any kind of self-published book at all, right? And then it got a bad name for only quick money. People just wanted to make money and they didn't care about the content of the book. And that is way not the situation now. Now again, you maintain your rights. You can actually get a ISBN number for free. You don't have to pay $250 and all this kind of stuff. You got worldwide distribution in all kind of languages. So you could push a button and now have your book printed in any language that's out there that they have available, and it's thousands, it's hundreds, excuse me, hundreds. All right. So just keep that in mind. So as we wrap up, we're going to go to Kindle. I asked you to check that out. Hopefully you took a look at that. If you didn't, go to KDP, Kindle Direct Publishing. It's part of Amazon, but I want you to go there. They actually updated this page, but it still has the information there, and open you an account. Now, when you open an account, the only reason why I'm asking you to do it now is so that you'll have it when we get there, but you don't have to worry about it right now. I just want you to see it, read it. There's videos there. There's all kind of cool stuff. All right. So this is going to be for you to get ready to publish your first book through Kindle. All right. And everybody here, what we're doing with the stories that you're writing is I'm going to show you the process by having you submit those stories back to me. And then I'm going to take those stories, compile them into a book of short stories so that you can have the first book that you have written that's part of this compilation of stories that we are all creating as we go. Everybody understand that? Any questions? All right, we've reached the end of. Yes, Eric.
I'm sorry. Yeah, one question.
Mhm.
I get the efficiency Amazon and Kindle Direct Publishing offers, but could you give us a little bit of juxtaposition or understanding on what it means to do it the other way around when we go find Random House, all these big
Okay, so
publishing
I
brands?
will go into more detail about publishing houses because it's going to when it comes to price and how much it costs. But just a quick to answer your question. Let's just say you went with Random House, right? First of all, you have to submit to Random House and get accepted. If you don't get accepted, you just don't get accepted. But that's the first part. But let's say you do get accepted. Number two, they control your project. Let's say you had a person in your story and their hair was curly. They could come and say, we don't want curly hair, we want straight hair. We don't want a red shirt, we want a blue shirt. We don't want him to come from New York, we want him to come from Indiana. They can control all the character, what you do, how you do it, etc. You lose all your rights in that space because you are the agent of the writing now. They are the publisher. Whereas in this case, you are fully control of everything from writing to publishing. You determine whether you get an editor or not get an editor, put it in the process, everything. And what they do to you is they say, okay, we got your project, we love it, but it's just this one little thing. Could you just change this? And guess what? You need to change it. So it's the control of the project. That's one. Number two, they pay you, yes, but you're not talking about you know, you're not coming out the gate with Harry Potter, right? And when Harry Potter first came out, it wasn't a hit. It was after it was kind of rebirthed. And then J.K. Rowling became like she was on a talk show, and then they, you know, they started doing this other thing, and then somebody wanted to make it into a movie. But when it first came out, it wasn't a hit at all. It was just like this cool little book. Okay. But a publishing house got a hang of it and said, hey, we want to give you a advance. It's called an advance for a reason. They give you the money and then they take it back. Because
Okay.
now they tell you, oh, it costs this much to do this much to do that, this much to do that, this much to do that. And all of that comes out of all your profits. So when you say, okay, I just sold 1,000 books, and they say, yeah, but you only made $2.55. Get it?
Yep.
I'll go into more detail when we get to that part, but that's the juxtaposed to why it might be different to do one over the other, if that makes sense.
Appreciate that. Yeah, makes sense.
All right. Any other questions?
Makes dollars and cents.
Yes, mainly dollars, because that's what Jeff Bezos said. He said, listen, I want to have you maintain your control, and I want you to have 70% of the royalties as opposed to 2%, 3%, 5%. Remember, Michael Jackson was all of that, right? But his percentage was less than 12. He had 12%. He was the highest paid percentage, but 12% of his project. Quincy Jones and all them other people made all the rest of the money. And most artists only make about 7% or 5%. That's why they have to sell 1 million books. And that's why a lot of people who have have a bunch of books in their garage right now, because they got to buy those books and sell them. Now you do the same thing, but you don't have to print them out until they're ready to buy. And that's another thing. You're not printing out 1,000 books in advance and trying to hope that you sell them. You're selling as you go. Okay. Any other questions, you guys? Ladies? All right. Have a great night. Your assignment is to continue 777, right? You did 7 already. Take 7 minutes somewhere in the day and in the night, and you're going to continue this story. And then you're going to come back with a expanded story on Thursday, and you should have at least 2 more 7s, if not more, because I'm not telling you that you have to do 3, but I want you to do at least 3, which means we did 1 in class. You got 1 tomorrow and 1 Thursday. But if you do all 3 for the day, you would have 1 in the morning, 1 in the evening, 1 in the middle of the day, and 1 in the end of the day. And you should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 before you 4, 5 before you come to class. 6.
Right, with different subjects or same subject?
Same. You're just
Okay.
expanding this story. You told this story. Now you're going to expand the story. So maybe you look at that story and go back and go, okay, how did it start? Where was the origin? What was this? What, I mean, I'm not going to tell you what to do on that. You're going to find that out as you move forward, because then we're going to start talking about story arcs and talk, what kind of framework you're going to work from. Right now, we're just writing. That's what this exercise is all about. Write for 7 minutes. Let's see what you get. Most people are amazed at what they get by the time they finish. They were like, wow, I didn't realize I can do that much. Okay. Anything else? Going once?
Just double checking the dates for this class so I don't have to check.
It's every Tuesday,
Tuesday and
Thursday, 6:30 to 8:30.
Okay,
And we have 20 hours, right? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Yep, 20 hours.
okay,
Okay.
thank you.
If you was taking it on a Saturday or something, it would be like you'd be in class from like 9 in the morning to like 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. All right, a couple weekends, but we changed that. Everybody good with that? Have a great night, everybody. You'll get a recording and you'll get the follow-up email from me.
Okay.
Good night.